Hello, baseball fans. Welcome to the next edition of Southern Maryland Blue Crab Spotlight. I'm Joe Cross. My co-host, Amy Calvin, she's on location in another part of the stadium, and she'll be on the show a little bit later. My first special guest today is Chris Maples, the second baseman. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And welcome to Southern Maryland.
Thank you very much.
Right,
Glad to be here.
Now, you didn't start the season with the team. You came in after the season started?
No, I actually came in with the team.
You came in with the team?
Yeah, I was actually, the utility guy, so I wasn't playing a whole lot, and just playing all different positions. And then once things started kind of getting settled, started getting playing time regularly at second base.
How you doing there, Sandell?
That was, George Sandell, fan. George Sandell.
He's been on the show already, so we don't count him. But like you say, you were like a utility player or whatever, and then Chad Ernsberger was traded away, and now you're the full-time second baseman.
Yeah, so now, get some regular at-bats, not pressing so much at the plate, so things are starting to happen. And, like I said, I came in as utility guy and just let things happen. And, good Lord willing, I got in there and, doing my thing.
But reading on the website this morning, Bridgeport doesn't have internet radio, so I couldn't listen to the game last night. You were the big hero. You had 2 home runs, and you smacked in the winning home run in the bottom of the 11th.
Yeah, well, just went up there, kind of. Jeremy Owens come in, had a little speech talking about, do some small things. Don't everybody go up there and try to hit a homer, and the bat before I did the same thing. I didn't really go up there and press anything, and put a good swing on the pitch, and got good results on it.
Now, were you the first batter in the 11th?
Yes.
So everybody else got to sit down and cheer. And did they give you a rough time when you crossed home plate? Did they beat you up?
Yeah, beat up a little bit, but I was throwing a few blows myself. So.
Well, that's good. Now, where are you from?
I'm from Hillsborough, North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Living in Sanford.
Now, did you hook up with a local family like some of the other guys?
Yeah, I actually have family from here, the Smiths. I live with my aunt, and she's actually 70 years old. If you see her, you'd never believe it. You'd think maybe 50, 55.
Yeah.
But I live with her. She took me in, and they actually, live real close by, only like 5 miles away. So I got family that comes here and supports me, which is real nice.
Excellent. I know we had George Sandell on the last show, and he lives with a family about 5 or 6 miles from me. So it's good that a lot of the players, get to interact with some of the local families.
It's real nice, especially if for the families who are around that want to host players, and players get to know their families. So that's pretty nice. But I got lucky and had real family from here. So
excellent.
That was nice.
That's great. Now, after last night's game, you guys are tied for Bridgeport for first place.
That's our whole goal, is to play to win, and do a lot of small things. And fortunately last night we struggled a little bit, and then we kind of started doing a few small things, put some runs up, and then had a couple big hits to tie the ball game up and go ahead. So our whole goal is to win, win at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're trying to do.
All right, George. That's our resident comic on the team.
Yeah, he is.
But you took 2 or 3 from Bridgeport, and that's the best way to get in first place is to knock off the first place team.
Yeah, well, we got one more with them right now. We've took the first 2, so hopefully we're looking for that sweep and take the third one today to get us a game up.
All right, now who was that?
That's Brandon Keytron.
Oh, okay.
That's our new third baseman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get him on another show. All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show with me. And,
all right, thank you very much.
We hope you keep doing good. The team is doing real good. It's a difference between the first half. The first half, you'd be leading early, and then you would give up runs late in the game, and then you'd have a loss. Now you're coming back and scoring the runs late in the game, and you're getting the victories over all the other teams.
Yeah, well, it's nice. Our pitching, has been there for us all year, kept us in and everything. And as hitters, we're just trying to put some runs up, put enough up, to where our pitchers don't have to work so hard. And hopefully, if they had bad outings, we're there to pick them up. But for the most part, they've been the ones that keep in all the ball games, and we've scored enough runs to kind of sneak by a few people.
Yeah, great. Okay, well, we thank you for coming on the show with us, and it's like Southern Maryland's glad to have you, and we hope to see you hit a couple of home runs today too, like last night.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thanks. All right, Amy, we're going to turn it over to you, and then we'll see who your special guest is.
Thanks, Joe. I'm down on the field now with your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs bench coach, Andy Etchebarren. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We wanted to talk with Andy today a little bit about the Blue Crabs and also your career in baseball. So if you would tell the fans a little bit about how you came through the system in baseball, where you started out as a player and where you were as a coach as well.
Well, I started out a long time ago. I started in 1961, and I signed out of high school with the Baltimore Orioles, and I got my first hit in the big leagues in 1962, and then I went to stay in Baltimore at the end of 65 and spent altogether, counting the minor leagues and the big leagues, almost 15 years there. And,
wow.
And had a really met some wonderful players and played with a bunch of good teams and great players. Frank Robinson, Brooks Robinson, Powell, Davey Johnson, Louis Apper. I could go on forever.
Right.
Paul Blair. And but we were very fortunate to have very good pitching and very good defense, and we had enough guys that could hit 3-run homers. That's what Earl Weaver used to like.
Right. And you were a catcher, correct? And now you have 2 World Series rings somewhere in your jewelry box, I guess.
No, I gave those to my daughters because I have 2 daughters, and usually people give them away after they're buried, and I wanted to give them to them before so I could. My grandson, has one, but he's not allowed to have it yet. But,
right.
The girls have them.
That's nice. So he was on the World Series team in the 60s, 66 and 1970 with your Baltimore Orioles. I try not to be partial, even though I'm an Orioles fan. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Butch Hobson. Did you play with him through your career? How do you know him?
Well, I never knew Butch personally until this year. I coached in Milwaukee also, and he was playing for Boston at the time, so I'd seen him play. But opening day partners, they already hired their managers, their 4 managers, and they asked me if I would like to come here and coach for Butch, and I said, I'm fine with that. And I just told them that I managed so long in the minor leagues, I just want to make sure that Butch was all right with it. So they asked Butch, and Butch was fine with it. So we've had a good relationship.
So now you're here. Tell the fans a little bit about what a bench coach does.
Well, it's a little different here than in the big leagues. When I was a bench coach with Davey Johnson, you make out, 4 or 5 lineups, then one upstairs to the. We don't do it here, but a bench coach in the big leagues will send a lineup upstairs for the announcer, send one over to the other manager, and then post one in the dugout, and then make out the official one for the umpires, and then also chart all the hitters against our pitchers. I do that here also, that so we know about what pitches people are hitting, where the location is, and where they're hitting it on the field, so we can kind of defense them a little bit. So that basically all goes for the bench coach's job.
Okay. The Blue Crabs have done very well. You and I were talking before we did the show that for an expansion team, this being the first year, 6 players to the All-Star team this year, voted by the fans and different league officials and managers. What are some things that you personally would like to work with the team on as we go into the second half to see them continue to be successful?
Well, I think we need to improve our base running a little bit. Also, it's a little hard in this part because our right-handed hitters sometimes get into overswing mode where their swings get a little long trying to hit it over this left field wall here. But so, you know, Butch works with the hitters almost every day. He's a good hitting coach, and they take plenty of batting practice. So just continue to work with their hitting. The pitching's been okay. We're leading the league in pitching right now, so everything's been pretty good. I mean, and Butch did a wonderful job putting this team together. I mean, we didn't have a general manager. He was the general manager and the manager during the off season. So he got all these players together, and he phoned them all. He gave them contracts. So this is really his ball club, and he really did a great job. The personnel is great. Everybody gets along. They play hard, which absolutely, and I also. We demand that they play hard. I don't care if it's an independent ball or anywhere else, you got to play hard.
Right. Now, I had spoken with Butch on different occasions, and he let me know that this group of guys that he's working with, he just thinks that they're phenomenal, that the chemistry on field and off the field, the friendships, the relationships are really great with this team. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yes. You know, it's like I said, he did a great job not only with the way they play, but with personalities also. So maybe he got lucky, or maybe we got lucky with that, but they all get along really well.
That's very good. Now, as we're going into the second half, we're going to have the All-Star break, and then we'll go into the second half of the season. So you think it's going to be key to really work on offense to hopefully see the Blue Crabs maybe clinch the title in the second half?
Well, you know, you got to do a lot of we got to do a lot of things well. We got to catch the ball a little better. We caught it in the first half. I think we made like 75 errors in the first half. We need to improve on that to bring it down to about 60 the second half, hopefully, and get our pitchers to keep the ball down in the strike zone where we get more ground balls, especially in this ballpark. You know, a fly ball when the wind's blowing left field and go out of the ballpark and you lose pretty quick. So, you know, pitchers need to get the ball down. We need to stay quick with our hands at the plate and not get too long with our bats, and you know, it's just constant work every day. Cutoffs and relays, make sure our guys are in the right spots.
That constant work that you mentioned, I know you guys get it because you're out here almost every day. There's very few days that you've had off this summer. I'm sure the All-Star break, that'll give some folks a few days off, but then it's back to the grind. Second half, you're out here all the way through mid-September. So good luck with the second half. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it, and we'll check back in the second half. Hopefully you'll have a bunch of wins and be in first place.
Well, thank you very much. I hope so.
Thank you. Andy Etchebarren, the bench coach for your Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Amy. My second guest today is right-handed pitcher Chris Gale. And Chris, welcome to Southern Maryland. Welcome to Channel 95.
Thanks for having me.
All right. You played last night a great game. The Crabs pulled it out in the bottom of the 11th with Chris Maples' home run. And you were the pitcher. You got the win. So tell me about that game.
Well, last night was just another incredible game for us. I don't think I've ever been a part of a team where we've had back-to-back walk-off home run victories. Last night, Chris Maples was outstanding. He hit the game-tying home run in the 8th inning, and then the game-winning home run in the bottom of the 11th. It was really just an outstanding game. Another big win for us.
Yeah. Now you were the pitcher of record, so you got the win. How many innings did you pitch?
I threw 2 innings last night. I threw the 10th and the 11th. You know, my job going out there, the closer had already pitched, so my job out there is just to try to shut them down and give our offense another chance to put together a run and get us a win.
Now, you are a right-handed pitcher and you're a reliever. Now, you say you've done both relieving and starting. Now, do you have any preference on that?
I really have no preference. I think the way that I pitch, I'm a kind of a sidearm pitcher. I think it better suits me as a reliever. I started earlier in the year, 4 games, and I started earlier in my career and basically all growing up. But I've really gotten comfortable pitching out of the bullpen and pitching in relief.
Yeah. Now that upped your record to 4 wins and 4 losses, so that gets you to the 500 mark. That's always good. And that's
nice.
something you can build on to get into the plus column. And you've got what, 1 save?
Yep, 1 save.
1 save. Excellent. Now, what do you think of Southern Maryland? How do you like the area since you've been here?
I like it. I live in Washington D.C., so it's not it's not too far for me. I actually commute every day, which with gas prices right now it's a little bit rough. But I like the area, and I went to school down in Virginia, so so I'm used to the area.
Oh, it's almost like being home then.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Now, do you commute? Where are you living now? Do you commute back to D.C.?
I live in Washington D.C. in Northwest D.C. and it takes me about an hour every day.
Yeah.
But I like being there, and it's not too bad.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. We got to get out of here because the game's getting ready to start. But
right,
thanks a lot for coming on the show. Good luck.
You.
And thanks for bringing the team to a tie in first place.
Oh, no problem.
All right. Okay, Amy.
Thanks, Joe. Today, fans, we have with us a special guest, Charles County Commissioner Gary Hodge. Welcome, Commissioner Hodge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. We're going to talk to Commissioner Hodge today about his longtime involvement in this project. Commissioner Hodge has been involved in this project since the 80s, so I wanted to talk with him today about how the project of baseball in Southern Maryland really evolved and his involvement with it.
Okay. The idea came to me of starting this project about 1986. I saw an article in the newspaper about a minor league baseball team over in Virginia, in northern Virginia, in Prince William County, and thought, why not try that here? I knew that it would be a big hit with the region, and we started in earnest working on it. I was director of Tri-County Council for Southern Maryland at that time, and the elected officials of the region were very enthusiastic about it. And we took the idea quite a distance. We actually signed the Cleveland Indians to bring a minor league club here from North Carolina. And we had begun plans for building a stadium. In hindsight, that stadium would have been a very, very modest facility compared to what we have here now. And sometimes in hindsight you think that was a disappointment not to have made it happen 20 years ago. But now where we're sitting today, we're in a much better place than we would have been then. We have, I think, a very, very outstanding facility here. And I think about even the images of today's game. Here we are on a weekday afternoon in the summer, and we have young children enjoying themselves. We have parents and families and children and teenagers and young people all enjoying themselves, which is exactly what we intended here. But it has been a long road to this point. It's taken us now in this new effort, I'll call it, about 5 years to complete this project. And bringing on board the county government, of course, and the state government, with the commitment of 2 governors, I might add. It was a bipartisan effort in the sense that we had a Republican governor who supported it strongly, and then our Democratic governor, Martin O'Malley, supporting it very strongly. So it was this kind of spirit of both bipartisanship and regional cooperation, and also the private sector's involvement, which was so crucial. In modern days, when you embark on a facility like this, it's a partnership between the team owner and the state and the local jurisdiction, in this case the county, all equal partners in making it happen. And the only ingredient then you need is an enthusiastic community. I think that the turnout of 7,100 people on opening day spoke to the world about what a badly needed facility this was to bring our community together and bring some recreational amenities to our people.
Okay, so as you can tell, a long time coming and much needed facility in Charles County. You can see today lots of kids out here. Krabby Cove is open today. I think that they were having free bumper boat rides, so the line's kind of long. Yeah, Commissioner Hodge, could you tell us a little bit about how, as a commissioner, you've gotten a perception from the community, if they're enjoying it, if they're utilizing the facility, how the community's feeling to now have this facility?
Well, now that the stadium's been open since May 2nd, I'm running into people all the time who are telling me how wonderful it is and that they finally have come to the stadium and they plan to come back again and again with their families. I just a second ago ran into Bo Bailey from St. Mary's County, who has not been here until today, and he's just glowing with enthusiasm about it. And his family lives down in the 7th District in St. Mary's County. So that to me is a good indication and an example of the kind of enthusiasm that I'm seeing. Everyone who comes here, of course, is impressed with how children are responding and families are responding. So they've kind of captured this place as a place for them to be, to enjoy themselves.
As you can tell, Commissioner Hodge was instrumental in bringing the stadium to Charles County. But Commissioner Hodge, now that we have the stadium, is there anything planned to do any special recognition or dedicate the stadium?
We are planning to dedicate this stadium to John Thomas Perrin.
Okay.
John Thomas Perrin was a mentor and friend to many of the public officials, elected officials in the region, and some of the leaders of our major institutions in Southern Maryland. And was, as a young man, a very, very good pitcher for the Indian Head Indians. And I'm told by people who played with him that he had a very unique way of throwing the ball. It was very hard to hit. And this was the Charles St. Mary's County League that he pitched in. And so we're going to dedicate the stadium to John Thomas Perrin. And just let me give you a little biography of him. He went to the Maryland House of Delegates. He was elected to the House of Delegates in Maryland about 50 years ago, back in the 50s, then became a state senator, was the founder of the Tri-County Council for Southern Maryland, was a very long time supporter of the Charles County Community College, now the College of Southern Maryland, was on its board of trustees and chairman of the board of trustees, and also helped found the Southern Maryland Higher Education Center. And I served with him for many years when I was director of Tri-County Council. And this man had a lot to do with the progress we've made as a regional community in the last generation. So it's very appropriate that we dedicated the stadium to him, and that will be on August 20th at 5 o'clock. And we'll have, I understand, a wonderful program that day in the evening as well with fireworks. So that's going to be a great day for us here. And we'll put a special memorial plaque to him at the entrance to the stadium so that people will be able to know who he was and how significant he was in the life of Southern Maryland.
That seems very appropriate. Like Commissioner Hodge said, August. That's going to be the stadium dedication, which will begin at 5 p.m. Also that evening is the 350th anniversary celebration for Charles County. So mark your calendar for August. The festivities for the stadium dedication will be at 5, and then also things going on all evening to celebrate Charles County's 350th anniversary. Thank you for being with us, Commissioner Hodge.
Appreciate it.
And back to you, Joe.
Well, that's going to wrap up this week's show. For Amy Calvin, I'm Joe Cross. We'll see you next week on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs Network.